If you've ever heard people speak English, you might have noticed that sometimes they use different pronunciations for the same word, even if it's the same person. Sometimes, words have different forms depending on whether they're stressed or unstressed. There are many things that could cause a word to have different levels of stress, but the most common causes are if the word is an adverb, adposition, including prepositions and postpositions, or a pronoun. If a word is in one of these three categories, it's quite likely that it has some form of unstressed version, especially if the word is frequently used or if it also contains lax vowels, such as or I. I should also note that a small handful of words have multiple unstressed forms, depending on the level of stress. Here I have a list of the top 20 most used words in spoken English. Now, this list will probably be different in written English, but in terms of spoken English, these are likely to be the most common words you'll come across. And now, here I'll highlight the forms of the words with different stress. And you'll now notice that almost every single pronoun and preposition has been highlighted. There aren't any adverbs on this list, but one of the most common adverbs, the word just, also has an unstressed form. Now, just for comparison, here is a list of the most common words in English, but starting from the 900th most common word in English, 7. You'll notice that literally none of these words have unstressed forms. This shows how quickly the unstressed forms drop off, even after only 900 words, which, in terms of English, isn't that many. Let's look at the most common word on the first list, you. You has an unstressed form, yeah. When the word you is in a sentence and it's not stressed, it's usually pronounced like ya. For example, in the sentence, do you know him? In this sentence, you can hear both an unstressed you and an unstressed them. That was the at the end of the sentence. Now, one final example, the word something, which actually has 4 different forms depending on the level of stress, and also depending on the dialect of English being spoken. For example, in my dialect of English, these sound something like something, something, and something. Usually, only the middle 2 forms would be used. I think I would only use the first form if I were speaking fast, and the last form if I were really stressing the word something. Those are all the examples I'll include for this video, but if you want to see more examples, the great site Wiktionary.org has a lot of amazing pronunciations of words. They have detailed information on usages, etymologies, and just about anything you could ask for, so I highly recommend it.